I'm going to start this video about questions with a question. Are you ready for retirement? It's one question that's made up of some very important questions behind it, and it's not just about having enough money saved up. There's more life than money, and retirement planning does not equal financial planning. It goes beyond that. In this video, I'm going to share 7 key retirement questions that go well beyond the very surface level financial part of it, which will help you more deeply answer this bigger question about your readiness to retire. In case you're new, I'm Cyn Meyer, the founder of Second Wind Movement and a life coach for older adults who are striving to turn their retirement years into their best years full of purpose and meaning. And a big part of that goes well beyond financial planning. It's about being holistic in your planning so that you don't get stuck in a rut. And I see this all the time, feeling lost, aimless, purposeless, or rudderless without any motivation. So, number 1, am I emotionally ready for retirement? It's easy to underestimate the impact that retiring can have on your mental health. And if you're like most people, after working for decades, your job becomes an important part of your identity. Like when people ask you, what do you do? It's a common thing to answer with your job role. So in retirement, it's about addressing this identity shift head on, because otherwise it can lead to like an identity crisis, which comes with feelings of isolation, worry, anxiety, and depression. In fact, according to a health and retirement survey, a quarter of US retirees experience a decline in psychological well-being within the first year of retirement, which makes sense because there's a disenchantment phase that's very closely related to your loss of identity. And according to a retiree identity development study, it's important to be self-anchored during retirement, which gives people the opportunity to find personal meaning in ways that step outside of their previous work lives. So emotional readiness is a big deal, as is your physical readiness, which brings us to number 2. Am I physically prepared for retirement? It's not surprising that people often overlook their physical well-being too when they prepare for retirement. It's one of those things that's far off enough in the distance while you're still working that people claim they'll eat healthier and get more exercise during retirement. Yet, sadly, retirement reality looks a little more like wishful thinking. 48% of older adult workers say they'll exercise more in retirement than they do while working, yet 34% get less than while employed. 12% of retirees say they eat less healthfully than they did while in the workforce. And according to a newer report, over 55s need to keep up their physical activity levels if they are to enjoy a fit and healthy retirement, of course. And the study also found that it can be simple factors that'll help you increase your activity levels. Simple things like walking the dog, doing things where physical activity is a byproduct, believing in the benefits, peer support. Retirement today is different than it was for your parents and grandparents, and people are living longer with potentially healthier lives. And as a result, it's time to redefine what retirement looks like in the media and our culture especially. Physical health is a huge foundational part for layering on all the things that truly make you happy and fulfilled, which brings us to number 3. How will I spend my time? Go beyond just thinking about the big things. It's more meaningful to fill your retirement with a lifestyle and activities every day that bring you joy on a daily basis. Things that align with like your new retirement identity and your retirement purpose. The stereotypical retiree lifestyle, be it going on cruises, playing golf, volunteering at popular places like the local library or Meals on Wheels, watching grandkids, or partaking in senior center activities. That's not your only path. That's not for everyone, just like your career path and your life path are different from the next person. So it's important to dig deeper intrinsically into what motivates you. Once you have clarity, support your purposeful lifestyle with the right structure. A recent study suggests that for many retirees, daily routines provide a sense of structure and purpose that helps to economize both your thought and your behavior. More specifically, routines can help reduce decision fatigue, and it promotes healthy behaviors. So you don't want to start every day with how am I going to fill my time and just kind of have it be open-ended or just doing things for the sake of doing them. Time slips by way too quickly that way, and you miss out on capturing more fulfilling, purposeful-filled days, which is our next topic. Number 4, what's my retirement purpose? I have found that the number one thing people struggle with when transitioning into retirement is finding their sense of new purpose. Even with the relief of not having to go to a demanding job every day, and even if you see retirement as an opportunity to finally pursue your passions, you need to have clarity on these details and intentionally structure them into your life. By the way, if you want help finding clarity on your retirement purpose, we have a fun 10-question quiz, which I'll leave a link to below this video. Either way, if you think purpose isn't all that it's cracked up to be, think again, because purposeful work boosts productivity, well-being, and even loyalty. In fact, people who feel they're working towards a good cause can increase their productivity by up to 30%. What's more, 64% of global consumers find brands that actively communicate their purpose to be more attractive, and 77% feel a strong emotional connection to purpose-driven companies over traditional companies. All this to say, purpose plays a big role in our culture, and retirement is no different. Number 5, what are my real retirement goals? My broken record PSA is retirement is the beginning of a big growth journey, and it is so important to set retirement goals that go well beyond your financial goals. Setting meaningful growth goals in retirement is going to make everything so much better. And your retirement goals may be totally different from what you had in mind during your working years, because you're designed to grow, develop, change, and evolve at every life stage, especially in retirement when you have a totally open structure and so many opportunities and paths to take. So it is time to find clarity and get specific, especially if you want your brain to stay stimulated. In a recent study, researchers found that people who don't set goals after retirement are more likely to experience cognitive decline. In the study, participants were asked to rate their level of goal disengagement, or their tendency to lower their ambitions and decrease commitment to personal goals. Those who reported higher levels of goal disengagement were more likely to have worse cognitive scores on tests administered by the researchers. So setting meaningful retirement goals gives you a sense of direction, you can see where you're going in the big picture, and you have more control over the quality of your future, specifically your brain health. Definitely worth the energy and the effort. Number 6, who will I interact with the most? There's no denying that humans are social creatures, and for a good reason. According to a study out of the University of Texas at Austin, a wide social circle for older adults specifically can be very beneficial. The study found that older adults who spent more time interacting with a wide range of people were more likely to be physically active and have greater emotional well-being. The more diverse your social circle, the better off you'll be in later life. So it's worth seeking out opportunities to meet new people and interact with them on a regular basis, particularly if they support your new growth. My number 1 recommendation in this area of community is to increase the number of people in your circle of influence. So these are the people who support your growth and your change and your achieving, and then decrease those in your circle of concern. Everyone has these people. They tend to be the gossipers who watch the news too much, or they're afraid of change and kind of fear-based. And finally, number 7, what's the biggest challenge I'll overcome in retirement? Of course, retirement is a huge life transition. Even if you've been planning it for years, there are bound to be some challenges along the way. A big reason is because people too often miss discovering their retirement purpose, let alone having clarity and a structure in place to achieve it. And as I keep repeating, it's important to have a solid plan for retirement that goes well beyond your finances, because there are other challenges that you need to consider as well. And here's where our 5 rings of retirement framework comes in handy. Finance is only one ring, and the other 4 include your growth, community, which are your relationships and your social life, your health, which includes your physical, mental, and emotional well-being, and giving back, which is your sense of purpose. Challenges and retirement life will ebb and flow between all 5 of these rings, as such is life. So it's nice to have a framework to reference where you can clearly see where you need to put your energy at any given time. The last thing you want is for challenges to turn into unresolved issues that grow and manifest as depression and anxiety. Which, by the way, it's worth mentioning that 15% of older adults who are age 60 and over suffer from a mental disorder, and over 20% suffer from a mental or neurological disorder. So you want to prepare proactively and avoid being one of these stats on the rise. Challenges will come and you can overcome them with the clarity and the right tools. No matter what stage you're in, now is the time to ask yourself the tough questions, to set yourself up for a retirement that's happy and fulfilling and full of purpose and successful. It's never too late or too early to be prepared for all the non-financial. To recap our 7 important retirement questions. Number 1, am I emotionally ready for retirement? Number 2, am I physically prepared for retirement? Number 3, how will I spend my time? Go deep into the question and find clarity on your retirement identity first, which relates to number 4, what's my retirement purpose? Purpose is everything. Number 5, what are my real retirement goals? Go beyond finances and make them meaningful. Number 6, who will I interact with the most? Boost your circle of influence. And number 7, what's the biggest challenge I'll overcome in retirement? Use our 5 rings of retirement framework as a nice baseline reference tool. We encourage you to dig deep and answer these questions. Take a piece of paper and all the time that you need to write out your answers. Remember that there aren't any right answers or wrong answers, and your answers may change over time because you're meant to evolve and grow and change. The more honest and introspective you are, the better. So thank you so much for being here and striving to be your best during retirement. We need more people like you helping to shift our culture to be better. Please like, share, and subscribe and comment on this video because every engagement that you make with our videos helps us do a better job of creating helpful content for this important audience of older adults. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.